It's September 27th, 2024, Friday night, and I'm speaking with Mr. John...
This Friday night?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I'm speaking with... Time flies, doesn't it? I'm speaking with... It felt like it was Monday yesterday. I'm speaking with Mr. John J. Jeckovich, World War II combat veteran. He was with Company H, the 2nd Battalion, the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. His division was affectionately called the Diaper Division. Why was they called a Diaper Division?
Well, I was 19 years old, and that was the majority of the time that people got in there. The kids in school were probably got half a year of school. They pulled them out of school, college, and they were 19 and a half years old.
So the reason why they nicknamed that division the Diaper Division wasn't all, it was affectionately called the Diaper Division due to the fact they're all young men.
Well, the Army was 19 years old, and that was combat age. Yeah, 33, that was combat age.
33 is a code, though, that means 19. Because a 19-year-old could fight much better than a 30-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
A 19-year-old could fight twice as good.
And he could survive for faster around the battlefield than a 40-year-old guy.
Yeah, yeah. And Mr. Jeckovich, all his life, lives by the motto, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. And that's what Mr. Jeckovich lives by, that motto. This is second reading today, second segment, where Mr. Jeckovich's book, Their Mother's Sons, it's approximately 900 pages. How many pages is it exactly?
897.
Okay, you got that down. And we're reading Mr. Jeckovich's book, Their Mother's Sons, and we're in the second reading segment today, and we're discussing that Mr. Jeckovich met his future wife, Delphine Stulak, at the Del Room Ballroom. That's on the second floor of Main Street
in
Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
How was Buffalo, New York back in the 50s?
I like Buffalo. I used to go to school about 3 times a week.
Was it a very busy?
And shopping, my mother liked to go there. It was too busy for her because she could see too much traffic. She would have to go back to Toronto or Canada where there was less traffic.
Is it a very busy city in the 50s? And
oh, yeah.
And didn't you not get married in Buffalo, New York?
I did?
Yeah.
No, I got married in Blaisdell.
Blaisdell.
That's probably 50 miles past Buffalo.
Okay, it's sort of like a distant suburb of Buffalo. I see. Was it a big wedding?
Well, we had probably 50 people.
I see. And do you remember the church?
St. Stanislaus.
Okay. Do you remember what the church looked like inside?
It was a big red old brick house church in a Pollock neighborhood, which was a real fairly decent neighborhood.
Right.
And that's where we went to church. I had my communion. We went to Sunday school there.
That was nice.
I was going to public school every Monday and Wednesday after you got out of school at 3 o'clock. You had to go to the church, to go to the school there, and the nuns would teach you.
After the wedding, did you and Delphine go to her mother's house for a social gathering after the wedding?
No, we went to Polish Nook.
Okay.
On Fall Street, on East Fall Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where did you go for your honeymoon?
In the Poconos.
How was that?
We loved it. We loved it. We went back there every year, and then on vacation we spent a whole month there, a whole week there.
So it's a beautiful place.
Oh, beautiful place. Yeah, I was going to buy a house down there. That's in Pennsylvania, though.
And at the Poconos, how did you decide to go there?
Well, because that's where we went on our honeymoon.
But what made you go on your honeymoon there? What made that decision?
I didn't want to go anywhere in Buffalo. I didn't want to go anywhere in New York.
So that was a really nice vacation area.
It was like a rural area.
And was that known for honeymoons back then?
No place was known for honeymoons was Niagara Falls.
And is it still known now?
No.
It's done.
It's all dead.
I see. And what did you have, a cabin at the Poconos?
We had a cabin, yeah. A beautiful cabin.
And how was the food there at the Poconos?
Food was beautiful. Well, then, when we got married, we went there, we had a good time. And then when I had Sally had a problem with her eye, and when we went there 2 years later with her, she had a patch on her eye.
What happened?
Well, the doctor said she's got to keep that patch up because the eyes got strained too much.
Okay.
So we went there, oh, you poor dog, you got that patch on. So we got home, and my juvenile physician said, my mother took Sally to the doctor there. He looked at it and said, take that goddamn patch off right now.
That's awfully direct. Let's see. Before I start reading your book, what's your dog tag number?
4269.
All right, great. We got that down. So the Poconos, how did you get to the Poconos, by the way?
We drove all the time.
What'd you drive?
I drove a Volkswagen at one time. I drove the station wagon, the Green Hornet station wagon. I never drove the International there.
Oh, so you
No,
drove?
let's see. No, that was in New York State. I drove
Okay.
yeah. We drove the Green Hornet. Yeah.
When you went for your honeymoon in the Poconos, was it the time of year where it was snowing?
Yes, we went there in February. I got married in February.
February, correct.
Yeah.
What was it? Were you skiing then?
Huh?
Did you ski at the Poconos?
I skied. Delphi did ski.
She wasn't interested.
Well, I had a pair of skis with her, but she didn't do good.
How about
What the hell does this guy want to go in here?
did you take the tow bar or the chair lift? When you did it, did you take the chair lift or the tow bar?
Well, we went to a couple of rope tows.
And how was that?
He's looking for the stupid. We went a couple of rope tows, and then we went on a chairlift.
Okay.
That's when Sally fell off the chairlift.
Oh, Lord.
She's swinging her arm and had her skis on. I said, Sally, don't swing because you're going to lose your momentum and go right over it.
Yeah.
And she's going with the skis on, and she took the belt off on her lift seat, and she toppled over, and she lucky she fell in a column that had hay around, and she fell in the hay.
Very lucky, yeah. Very lucky. Wow. That's amazing. So Poconos was a pretty nice place for you to go.
Oh, yeah, we really enjoyed it, yeah.
Okay.
That's better than going to New York City.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be really good. I'm going to read a few pages out of your book and interrupt me anytime you have
Okay.
something to...
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I would then become more accommodating and even renew the friendship all over again, even though I knew it was charade on my part, after which I would attempt any means to extricate myself gracefully.
We're
You're talking about Uncle Steve. You're trying to keep a relationship still together with Steve. It was always a task, but most of the time I handled it tactfully, if not all the time.
Well, here, I'll stop you there. When he came the last time, I was writing the book.
Oh, wow.
I didn't tell him that. He's writing a book too.
About glass.
About his experience with Pittsburgh class and what he's doing at school and union and everything else, all that shit. And I never told him I was writing a book. And when I tried to correct him on something, he said, "What the hell are you telling me? So you didn't get out, you're lucky you got out of high school and you're telling me how to write a book?"
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
rude.
so I never seen Stevie's book.
No, I haven't either. Yeah, that was rude. Yeah, well, interject anytime I've got something going on in your mind here. Let's see. Okay. Time had evolved into a new and unknown decade. It was in the 1950s, a period of civil unrest, Martin Luther King, and the Korean War. Well, we're still in the Korean War today.
Yeah.
It never ended. The 40s and all they brought were behind me. They started on a high note. Our first home, which was good, bought with my parents, entire savings of $200 as a down payment. So when your father and mother bought the house at 3063 Orleans Avenue, the only down payment required was $200.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's great.
From Mr. Belden, Jewish real estate guy.
Yeah. We were all elated with our first bathtub in the bathroom. So that was the first bathtub.
Yeah.
What did you have before if you didn't have a bathtub?
Well, before that we had a big wash tub in the kitchen.
And that was it?
But after we moved to on Niagara Street, there was a bathroom with a bathtub. We heated the water. I put a little heating stove down in the basement right near the stairs. And then when the kids wanted to take a bath, and we wanted to take a bath, and Delphi wanted to take a bath. I ignite that stove with wood and coal, and get that stove warming up, and I put a pipe inside of it and warm the water up enough to have three kids and two adults take a bath, take a shower.
That was a lot of work.
Yeah, but after that we put a water heater at 5:30 hours of water heater.
Right, with a water heater. Okay, we were all elated with our first bathtub in the bathroom, and how grand it all felt. The tragedy struck swiftly and severely. My father was dead of a massive heart attack, and suddenly it all went downhill after that.
What's that?
When your father died of a massive heart attack.
Yeah, 43, yeah.
My entrance in the army during the World War to fight Hitler and his aggression, my being wounded later in Belgium, and my recovery in a hospital in Paris were almost a prologue to the future events. The discharge from the army in the mid-1940s only brought misery in returning to my much-lauded home, and a home we expected so much from, only to be disappointed at every turn.
Well, I see, my mother was a widower.
Yeah.
Kids were growing up, Sarah's a pain in the neck with that particular girl. So then my mother lived alone.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go. I thought, we can't go on a vacation. When we used to go to Letchworth Park for the weekend, I said, Mom, you coming with us? And she most of the time, and sometimes she enjoyed sitting there on the bench of the park and looking at the people going by. And Letchworth Park was a beautiful park.
So your mother had a nice time at the park?
Yeah, but I wouldn't take her this winter time, no.
No, okay. Let's see. Mother's loneliness and never-ending struggle to make ends meet took a toll on her physical and mental well-being, as she never fully recovered. My discovery that my brothers and sisters were alien to me, and there would be never before the rapport I expected between them and me, would endure the rest of our lives. There was nothing I could do to alleviate or make it more bearable. I was destined to be alone in this family setting, much as Mother was before me.
Mm-hmm.
Then came the futile and inane attempt to find a suitable employment, and only to be rebuffed at every turn. Then in a final submission to my fate of a mediocre social and family environment, in which I could find no appropriate avenue of escape. Thus the era of the 1940s ended, and even though I did not comprehend fully its true significance, I was cognizant of enough to realize that the events were not going too well with me, and I must do something quickly to stem the tide of negativism and
because I want to raise a family.
Yeah. And nullification that's taken over my life. What to do was that all-consuming quest.
And then Delphine comes in the picture.
Oh yeah, that was a gift from heaven, my friend. That was 69's of a beautiful wife. 69 long years of a beautiful wife you found. I kept abreast of current events through reading various magazines and newspapers.
Book of the Month Club I belong to.
Yeah, that was a
My
good...
mother used to chide me for that. She said, spending money on those books.
Oh yeah?
And we're starving here.
You weren't really starving.
No,
I wonder why she
no.
said that.
I was working on I gave her 90% of my work per day.
Yeah. And what kind of books did you get for the Books of the Month Club?
I didn't get any thrillers, romantic things. I got history books. I got I got scientific books, admiral psychology, social analysis, and all that stuff.
How often will the Books of the Month Club deliver?
Once a month.
And what were they
They send
deliver?
you a review of the books, and then you decide what you want to do. Either get a book there or cancel for that month. So usually I got one or two books from there. I went through the review. They give you a book review of the.
And were they delivered to your mailbox?
Yeah, and I usually order two of them.
But you said your mother didn't want you to have books. Did you have to beat her to the mailbox?
Well, usually I got home at 3 o'clock, or she got home at 4 o'clock, 4:30.
So you already checked your mail?
Yeah, but then I put the stupid books underneath the stupid bed.
Is that what you had to do?
Yeah.
But if you had to hide your books under the bed, how and where would you read your books?
I read the books when Mother went to bed. Mother used to go to bed after Lawrence Welk. That was at 7:30. No, not 10:30. She went to bed. So I was in my pajamas. So I'd stay up till maybe 1 o'clock reading.
And where would you read?
I was reading the books. I was hiding underneath the bed.
Oh my word. You have an unbelievable memory. Most people would not even remember Lawrence Welk. That seems like a century ago.
Yeah. Well, I can see Lawrence Welk on the screen once in a while.
What's that?
You can see Lawrence Welk on his name on the screen when they put his music on.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So your mother loved to listen to Lawrence Welk. I think he was Polish.
Yeah. When she was sitting in that wheelchair crochet, and when she crocheted, she had that real fine yarn. When she was crocheting, she wouldn't look at it. She'd be looking at the. Well, then we had a TV. She'd be crocheting and doing the thing, and she never missed a stitch. The pattern come out beautiful.
That was an unbelievable talent your mother had to crochet with yarn as thin as thread.
Yeah.
She made the most beautiful Afghans that you
Oh,
ever
yeah.
see. And she would just do it, basically just watching TV and
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Never read a book on it or nothing.
Did she ever teach your wife
No.
Did she ever teach your
Now,
sister?
we would go down when Mother was sitting there crocheting with. She'd sit on the couch and watch TV, and the Mother would crochet.
Did she ever teach your wife to crochet?
No.
So who taught your mother to crochet?
Probably her mother.
And where was your mother, in Poland?
Well, when she was a young girl. And then when she came here, she came here after her parents died over there. That's when she started crocheting.
So your mother's mother was living in Niagara Falls?
No, I don't think. I think they passed away in Europe.
They passed away. Because those were really bad times in Poland.
Oh, yeah.
Hitler was destroying.
Yeah, 1940, 41, 42.
Destroying
Yeah.
the people.
Yeah. You
What
can
a
take over the world.
Horrible situation. So you never met your mother's mother and father?
Yeah.
You never met them, right?
Who?
Your mother's mother and father.
Oh, yeah.
How did you meet your...
Well, the father was a house builder, and he always dressed, had a vest on, tie on, white shirt, and a hat on. Always come over.
Well
Always
dressed.
dressed. Little kinky message.
Okay.
He is a nice guy. He's a
Nice
nice
guy.
guy. I used to work. I worked with him a couple of times summertime.
Nice guy. And he dressed to the
And he
nines.
had good sighting shoes and everything.
Yeah, you have a great memory. Remember you with the shiny shoes. Holy cow. Let's see. I kept abreast of the events reading various magazines and newspapers, but never occupied my intense scrutiny and attention. The advent of the Korean War, however, grasped my attention for a while, in which I believe I'd be obvious for the draft again. So you thought you might be drafted for the Korean War?
Yeah. No, I didn't worry about the Korean War. I worried about the World War. Well, I was drafted in 19.
Yeah, you were drafted, and you're in very likely...
I was exempt from the Korean War because I was over age.
Okay, but you were drafted, and luckily you went to the European theater.
Yeah, I was sweating out the Pacific.
Because you did not want to go to the
Yeah, I
Pacific.
don't want to go to the Pacific now.
No one wanted to go to the Pacific,
No.
did they?
So I saw every European city in town over there.
Yeah.
I was over there, what, 18 years?
So when the war ended with the Battle of the Bulge in Germany and Belgium, when Berlin was completely destroyed by you and the Allies, the American soldiers at that time, the combat soldiers, thought in the back of their mind they might be being shipped.
They were talking. They sent an advance party over the Pacific to get set up over there, and we figured we were going to go. Then they dropped the bomb.
Yeah, and
that shut everything down.
Yeah, but none of the fellows that finished the Battle of the Bulge in Europe wanted to go to Europe. They didn't know. They didn't want to go to Pacific.
No.
They didn't want to go to Pacific.
When they drafted me, I went to POE New York instead of POE San Francisco.
And so everyone was worried about being sent to the Pacific.
No, yeah, it was crazy over there.
Because they were short on men.
It was crazy. Japanese over there.
Yeah, tunnels.
The tunnels, they're real small. They dig tunnels, and they go maybe a foot and a half underground in the tunnel. You know, when you get them up, get a blowtorch, flamethrower, and set the flamethrower, put it in the mouth of the tunnel and let them get them out.
And that was it.
Either burn them or they squawk them out.
I know all the combat vets, you told me, from World War II, when it ended, when the war was winding down in Belgium and Germany, they were worried about being sent to the Pacific, but one man comes in mind that wanted to go to the Pacific. And who was that? Who wanted to go to the Pacific? After the war ended in Germany, this general wanted to go to the Pacific.
The general, yeah. That wasn't MacArthur, that wasn't Patton, that wasn't Eisenhower, that wasn't the other two generals. I think the only one that wanted to go in there, he had relatives in Japan.
Okay.
And he wanted to go there, but when it moved, everybody moved, but he stayed here.
That's interesting, because I know all the soldiers, when the war was ending at the Battle of the Bulge, they were all worried about getting, they went through the worst times.
Yeah.
They technically survived the war.
And with our combat background, they grabbed us first.
Yeah, that's right. They survived the war, and they were worried about, as the war was coming to the final stages, they didn't want to get picked off by some rogue sniper. They were worried about their life being picked off by a rogue sniper.
Oh, yeah, over in Europe. Yeah.
The war was just about ended, but there's still snipers.
The Germans were pissed off because we were in Germany by then.
Yes.
And they were pissed off because we were their mother country, and we were fraternizing with the Frau and everything else, and they got pissed off.
Exactly. So they were worried about, after the war was basically over, getting shot by a rogue sniper.
Yeah.
And then when the Allies were in Berlin, and the Russians were in Berlin, Hitler ended his life at that time in the bunker.
He knew the story was over.
He couldn't wait. And Patton wanted to get him face to face.
Yeah.
He kept on saying, I'm going to get him face to face.
Yeah.
But he never did.
Yeah, I pissed in the water in Rhine River instead.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point you made. They told Patton, you don't have enough people, you don't have enough equipment to cross the Rhine, to get into the battle with him.
Yeah.
You don't have enough equipment. He did it anyways. Yeah. He crossed the Rhine. He was in heavy enemy territory now, and he had a bunch of these.
Well, the army had the officials out looking secure that lake, that river, but they wanted to get the shallowest spot because they had to put over maybe 1,000 people, and you can't put them in a muddy area to be all drowned. So they looked for a real easy spot to cross, and they went over there, and then Patton was over there, and then says, "What's that son of a bitch doing over there?"
Yeah,
a lot of swear going on there, everything.
With Patton especially, and so Patton was told not to cross, not to take a short supply of men, and so he did cross, and he beat everyone to it.
And he kept on going.
Yeah, he beat everyone.
He was the advanced fighter in Europe.
But he had
the Pacific.
He had the Army newspaper photographers, and Patton was a big guy for getting publicity.
Oh, an eagle. So he had a big eagle, yeah.
What did he do when he got across the Rhine?
Huh?
What did the first thing Patton do when he crossed the Rhine?
Pistol.
Yeah.
And he said, I want 5 photographers from different papers taking a picture of me.
Yeah, and he whipped it out, and he pissed in it, and he basically gave everybody the middle finger salute. He was friends with Ike. Ike was 8 years younger than Patton during World War I. And Ike Eisenhower could not basically control Patton. Patton had a mind of his own, and he would do what he wanted. But Eisenhower did not, being Eisenhower was a supreme commander, he would not sanction Patton because he knew even though Patton was kind of rogue, he would get the job done.
Eisenhower had a tough job with all those Eagle generals, yeah.
That's a good point. Not only did Eisenhower have to do a lot of logistics and scheduling the war, he had to deal with all these mega egos of all these generals.
Yeah. And they're fighting one another, who's going to kill one another.
Yeah, a lot of them are fighting for publicity, minutes. And so Eisenhower was close friends with Patton, and he basically could not control Patton, but he knew Patton.
Patton was a real soldier, yeah.
He would get the job done.
Top of the line, he's top of the line,
He would get the job done.
Yeah.
And so Patton also, when the war ended, he wanted to be shipped over the Pacific, but that never happened.
No, he got killed.
Killed by a rogue accident in
Berlin. He
Berlin.
got hit by a peasant cart.
Yeah.
And then he was all right, but he fell on his head. Nobody realized it. He had a concussion.
Yeah.
But they didn't realize it. He died of the concussion. He went to screw it up with the head.
And it's unbelievable to see Patton, when you see photographs of him during World War II, he looks like about a 70 or 80-year-old man, and he was only in the 50s.
Yeah, but Patton was a big guy.
Yeah, but it was only in the 50s.
With those big high boots and that. He was a big guy. He used to talk beside the Eisenhower, and Patton used to look down at him.
Tell us about your run-in that you had with Patton during the war.
Patton?
Yeah, when you were in the barn.
Well, we were over walking around in the stupid rain and all that shit. Our troop was walking maybe 3 days. They didn't want to run the jeeps up there. That was the third day. It was pouring rain out there. We were walking from 10 o'clock that morning till 7 o'clock. And I told those guys that there's a barn up there. It's dark outside. Let's check that barn. See if we can do that barn. Recognize that barn. See if we can get in there and stay and hold up for overnight. Two guys went in and said, hey, that's ideal, and there's a lot of hay in there. We'll close those barn doors and put a lights on it, and nobody sees us in there. So we all went in there, the whole cadre went in there. So 3 o'clock, we're sound asleep, all of a sudden we heard, bouncing around, banging around. He said, get your goddamn ass and I'll get on the next checkpoint, you assholes. Get, go.
That sounds like him. That sounds like him. Was that the last time you
Yeah, we ran up there with no shorts on, no pants on, or nothing. There was stupid rain.
And that was the last time you seen him, right?
No.
Was that the last time you seen Patton?
Yeah.
Yeah, first and last time. Minutes?
154.
That's a hell of a great story. That's a hell of a great story. What type of weapon did you operate during World War II?
Well, I was heavy weapons. 30 caliber machine guns, 30 caliber light machine guns, and we had 81 mortars and 81 light mortars, and we had our own personal arm MI rifle and a semi-auto rifle and a pistol and a gat gun. But our big thing was the 30 caliber machine gun.
Was that?
That was heavy weapons.
How come you had to water cool that gun?
Huh?
How come you had to water cool that weapon?
Well, because when they heated it up, it would cool that battery, that tank up and burn it up.
So it would.
They'd run 500 rounds of 30 caliber through there. That thing you couldn't touch. The guy touched it. The kid touched it. The recruit coming up. I said, "Don't touch the receiver." And he put his hand up. All his fingers were down to the bone. They shipped him out.
It was that hot.
Yeah.
So what happened to him?
Oh, I never came back.
He was removed from the war, right?
Yeah, he probably wrecked his hand. Yeah, he's probably a piano player and everything else. Couldn't play a piano after that.
Wow. And you witnessed that?
Oh, yeah. I said, don't touch that barrel. That barrel's hot.
Wow. And there was snow on the ground, too.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we had antifreeze in the tank, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was 15 seconds.
Wow, that must have been a sad thing to see.
Yeah.
The kid burning his hand down to the
Yeah.
bone.
Yeah.
Wow.
sad.
So you never seen him again?
Well, he shipped him to France